Okay, so here we are in the chicken coop, and the first thing that's gonna happen is collecting eggs. Is anybody gonna help? I'm getting my toes pecked, and so are the kids. So we are checking out this awesome chicken coop here at Raven Rocks. The kids are getting their toes pecked, so they're kind of hollering. So check this out. These boxes are amazing.
Roll out nests.
How many eggs do you get a day here?
Upper 60s, nearly 70 eggs a day.
Wow.
83 chickens. We have some chickens are broody right now. They keep eggs under them, the hoops.
And so those are the ones whose little tushes we see right there, right?
Yes.
Are those the broody ones?
This one right here.
Okay.
That's a butt.
Yeah. Okay, so we're checking out inside this awesome chicken coop. Check this out. Oh wow, they've got it made in here.
Sawdust bedding.
Can I walk in it?
Yes.
All right. Sawdust bedding. Here's the other side of these laying boxes. Oh, they're nice. Now, are these... Did you guys do this custom, or is this a actual type of laying box that you purchased?
Yes, you can purchase these.
Okay. Let's see what those look like. I like that. It's better than the setup we had for our chickens. And here's all the roosting.
Climb up the catwalk to the roosts.
They've got their little catwalk. And then this is their little escape house. Escape route, get in and out.
Well, close up the windows at night so that the critters don't come in.
Okay. They get nice and cozy. Okay, so we just got to witness some of the nightly routine here with the chickens at the Raven Rocks Eco Village. And this is Ted, who has been showing me how things are done around here. And I was hoping that you could tell us a little bit about the methods you guys are using here with the chickens and, you know, just kind of what's going on and how you do your chicken operation.
Well, the chickens get probably 80% of their protein from the earthworms, the bugs, the flying insects that are around, even the grasshoppers, and they do get a lot of, you see them scratching, digging. That's their natural way of living, and that's what they don't have in the cage setup that most of our chickens across the country live in. And this is something that allows them to have the ability to give us extra nutritious dark colored yolks and eggs that are especially tasty for people who really can judge the taste of eggs. But we move them about every 3 or 4 days. It depends on the weather. If it's more rainy, we need to move more often. They'll tear up the soil and are hard on the pasture. If we don't move them, they don't get as much green as they can get here. They like to go into the cow pies and get the maggots from the eggs that are left by the flies, and they get a lot of nutrition that way, and that helps the cows. The fly population isn't as high, and so the cows feel better. And so they kind of work together. The cows are good to be close by, and so they don't. So they deter the other livestock from going after the chickens.
Uh-huh,
And
okay.
so they're useful that way, back and forth. But it's the chickens and the cows are a good combination in the natural world. The cattle egrets are the egrets, not necessarily cattle egrets, but in Africa they're in the plains with the other ruminant animals that are grazing, and so it's part of the natural cycle for chickens and cows. So it's part of our natural world to be a part of and see it working together as a coexisting. And yeah, it's part of the improves the soil with the cows, and we move the cows every give them new pasture every day, move them to new grass.
Oh wow,
And
that's
so
amazing.
They get good feed, and also that gives rest for what's behind them. They keep moving to the new grass that way. And we got started really by the experience of Joel Scalaton and his salad bar beef book. And he's had a lot of experience. He's written a lot of books, but this is the one that we found most interesting to us when we got started. We've carried on from that.
Okay, so we've moved over here to get closer to the cattle so we could take a closer look at them. And there's one thing I thought of when we were walking over here. You were talking about how important it is that the chickens and the cattle work together with the bug population and fly population. But nowadays, when you go to the grocery store, you find these eggs that say vegetarian fed. And they're deliberately not feeding chickens, meat-based diets of any sort. But that's what they eat, is bugs and insects, and they're not vegetarians by nature. So that got me thinking. It's pretty interesting, and I definitely have noticed that homegrown eggs have a much richer flavor and color, and I assume that's probably from all the bugs they're eating.
Oh yes, and the green grass, the green clover. There's a lot more food, nutrition, in that diet that they get naturally, and it's processed through their gizzard, ground up, and it's fantastic the way it's a neat little production system, making those nutritious, protein-rich eggs from the natural environment.
The cows are curious about our dog Murray here, and Murray's starting to feel nervous.
Most of our herd in the past was Charolais, and we moved to the Murray Grey breed more recently. We're moving toward no hay in the wintertime, and with the large breed, there is more a larger, a greater need for more feed to keep warm. And with the smaller breed, you don't have that issue as much.
Okay.
And there are people in Canada who are not feeding hay at all. And the buffalo and the wild animals in the past forage for themselves through the snow and whatever. And we feel like that's a possibility for us here, and we're working to that gradually. We only feed hay when it really is bad, snowy, in the very cold part of the winter. But we have been finding that they can find the grass with their nose just right through the snow. They just nuzzle right down through the snow to the grass, and don't seem to have a problem finding it even when it's covered up.
That's amazing. So you guys have 800 acres. How much of it is pasture?
We only use 120 acres for pasture.
Okay.
That's all of our hay, pastures. This time of year in the spring, early summer, is growing fast, and we can't use all of it. Most farmers can't use all of it. It's growing so fast. You can't move the cattle enough. No, they don't eat it fast enough to keep up with it. And we've had especially good rains this year. And so the real important nutritional values come from the fresh grasses. As it gets older, it's not as nutritious, and so if you move them, the grass gets a rest, then it'll come back, and you can move them back to where the new grass is growing. And we're fortunate in this part of the country to have good rains most of the year, good grass growth, and as you go west, it's drier. So there's not the good pastures that we have.
Yeah, you don't see very many pastures like this in central and southern Texas where we are. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, well, is there anything else you want to tell us about the cattle?
I don't think of anything right now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to show us your chicken and cattle operation. It's super interesting. The website is the best place for people to follow y'all, ravenrocks.org, is that correct?
Yes, there's also a Facebook page.
And Facebook. Okay, so Raven Rocks Eco Village on Facebook and ravenrocks.org. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yes.